I love that session. No, I think it's because it embodies probably everything I like about football in terms of playing in tight spaces. And again, depending on the group you're working with, will depend on the size of the area you use and stuff. In the session, you see it's a 4v2 in 4 grids. So in one grid, you got a 4v2, and another team spread out on the other 3 grids. And again, depending on what you want to take out of the session. So if you're looking at the attacking play, it's quick play to change, to suck people in to change play. And then there might be when the ball transfers to another box that you've got for a couple of seconds, you've got one player in there waiting for his 3 teammates to join him. Can he protect the ball? Can he manipulate the ball? How quickly do his teammates join him? Which is really important. And then straight away, the lads who have completed the passes to change from one grid to the other, they fan out and fill the other boxes as well. There's that constant movement and trying to find space and positions and trying to emphasise into the players who are playing the 4v2 about if you can try and hit the box with 2 players in it, so they've got more chance of keeping the ball when it goes through straight away. Also on the drill, you'll see that there's 2 defenders on the outside of the box as well, so that they defend the line. They can't step into the box, but they try and stop you passing it into another box. So that makes it more difficult as well when you're playing in the middle on that transition. So then if you're looking at a defensive aspect of it, you might look at them screening players on the outside of the boxes, whether they get their line from to block the passing lane. So you can work on many different things in a simple little drill, really. And we're looking at my club now, Dagenham, we've got some technically really good footballers. So the session can really come alive with, and the intensity of it, and the players enjoy it again. And I like small-sided tight stuff where they can get tight and press. And then you got to, play through a press quickly.
How long would that sort of last in terms of duration, or how long would you keep it going for? I know, as much as having fun, I guess, but
it would depend on what day it is as well. So you might want to really work the defending team, so you might want to say they're in for 4 minutes. So it's long, and it is long, and it's long to keep concentrated. It is, and then a real importance becomes on the screening players to stop the balls going through rather than the pressing players to kill the session a little bit, because if they get it flowing and you can't get near the ball, it can be a long time. So you've got to really work together them 4 defenders. It can be just done on transition. So if you win it back, you're out. Or you regain it 5 times, you're out. And then it really heightens that as well. And as well, when you do that, if you're the team that's lost the ball the most, you have to go on to defend. No player wants to go and defend. They want to be outside and attacking. So it heightens their senses to keep the ball, and their work then becomes from their making themselves available, then movement to find space in the box. Them little tiny steps that mean so much when you want to keep the ball. That's what they have to go and do.
What really I like about the session that you've sent us, Dal, is that, excuse me for saying it, because I haven't done it, it's your session, but can be manipulated to numbers.
Yeah. So
again, I know I've referred back to it a lot, but for the different people working with different groups and sizes and amounts of players, it can be manipulated to suit a number of different numbers. So you mentioned 4 defenders there, but you could ask 1 to press and 2 to block the lines. You could have it the other way around. So I think that's really, really important. The other part of it as well, again, probably be good for you to touch on a little bit more, was just about, you said you could leave them in for 4 minutes. You can turn it over when you lose possession. But I think that's probably where you come in, isn't it? That's where you come in terms of your understanding of what you want on the day, what you expect from the players. You talked about there about the little steps, the little movements to receive possession of the ball, the blocking of the defenders, whatever it might be. That's where you come in, and about how often you stop it, if you stop it, if you let it run, how long you want it to run for. All those things is where you come in as the coach.
Yeah. And again, it's what outcomes you want out of the session. It's like, if you tell the defenders they're in for 4 minutes, so some of them might think, well, don't matter how many times I'm on the back, I'm in for 4 minutes. So it doesn't really get them going. But it might be that if you don't win it back 10 times in 4 minutes, there's a punishment at the end of it. Because you have to, we want to regain the ball, so you have to do that. And it might be, like you said, on the attacking sense, that you don't want to give the ball away, and then you don't want to use the word hiding, but quickly getting into a position to help your mate receive the ball is important, and being able to do it. And in the boxes, we tend to do it 3 touch maximum. And I remember somebody telling me a saying years ago when I was young: take as many touches as you need, not as many as you want. And I think it's a really important one for players to go, do I need 10 touches after I just playing 2? And then I make it have 10 touches because he might need them. I think it's really important that you're able to do that. And there's one I always say to my midfielders, that you're only a good midfield player if you pass the ball to a player and he doesn't lose it. So you've done the right thing with your pass. You've given him time where you've told them what to do. And they're little things that you really enforce in them in their boxes. And again, it might be you just going around and having a little quiet word, someone's here, you give it away again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They just keep people on the toes, know what you're doing. You know, keep the intensity intended in the session high like that.
And it also gives you a great opportunity to manipulate the one who might need to perform under a little bit more pressure. So you said there about you give it away again. You might put the player who can handle it a little bit more pressure on that one, and then reduce it for the one who's giving it away 2 or 3 times. And then you said there about how many touches you need. I think that's massive, because so many times people talk about move it quicker, play quicker. Actually, you can play quicker off of 3 touches than you can 1 sometimes, you know.
I say it to my team all the time. What is tempo? Tempo to me is playing as quick as you can under control. That to me is tempo. Now, that can be 4 touches, ain't got to be 1. If I have 1 touch but I'm playing quick, but I kick it off the pitch, I'm not good to anybody. No, when I can take 2 or 3, manipulate it and keep it, and that's playing as quickly as I can under control. And I think that's really important, that people don't just, again, you've seen many coaches do things like that, play faster. Why?
Yeah.
We go and then just like let people play as quick as they can under control. I think that's important. That's how they get better. And I think me and how we play and why I like that session is you have to play quickly under control in a tight space. And the players who are pressing you, they'll have our grids won't be massive, so you have got a chance to win the ball back every time that you go and do the walk. So it makes people who are playing play quicker and be more careful with the ball. Yeah.
And again, one of the other things probably I didn't mention there about manipulation of the session is that those area sizes can suit advanced players, beginners, young kids, and people that are capable that little bit more capable.
And it's like the smaller it is, the harder it is. It is as simple as that. And it might be something that if you're trying for the first time where you're not sure if your group can handle it, just do it a little bit bigger than maybe you think, so they have some success.
Yeah.
But I think it's important as well, for me, in it, a lot of, again, thinking about the success of keeping the ball, but it's great winning the ball back as well. So if you've got a chance of winning it back, if the grid's too big as well, you can demotivate the defenders. So it's important that if you try and get it spot on if you can.
And you've also got the other option there as well, is theming the session to so many different things, either all at once or just in one different night or across 3 or 4 different sessions. That session could last a month, couldn't it? In terms of once a night, twice a week, whatever it might be.
100%, and like you said, you can try different rules on it at different times at any different stages. And I think as well, if you find whatever suits your group, whatever suits your style of play, what you're trying to get out of your group, I think it can work. And it can work just from a defending aspect as well. For me, that if you're just forgetting about keeping the ball, you're just working on it as a defensive thing about getting your screening players on the line of a passing lane from where somebody's pressing from. The people pressing in the middle then can see where their mates are behind them to try and send the ball into them, so they can't put it across the line. So you can, and again, communication in that as well, which I think is important. Build little tiny things that can really, really help your team.
Yeah, brilliant.
And I've just got one more before we probably need to move on, because we'll run over a little bit again. It was around that session in particular. I've seen it online and different things, and I do use that as a bit of a motivator at times to try and come up with new ideas. What would be your advice to a coach that sees that session from us or somewhere else in their environment? What would your be? Because a lot of people do take away lessons and sessions online and perhaps don't always bring it to life within the environment they should. So what would be your advice for those coaches that sort of see a session and just chuck it straight in?
I think that's all you can do. It's like trial and error. You can't write it down on a piece of paper and practice it at home. I think you have to put it on the grass, put it in front of people and try and have a clear message of what you want to get out of the session before you start the session. So I would say whenever you're doing a session that you haven't done before for the first time, maybe just have the one clear outcome that you want to get and really home in on that. And then when the session's over, whatever you do, I'm sure like every coach does, you go away and review and reflect on the session. And did I get out what I tried to get out of it? And like we always do when you coach as well, you see something live when you're watching it that maybe you can chuck in next time, but don't try and get, we've altered a lot of different things about that session now. I wouldn't never try and do it for the first time and try and get 10 different things out of it. Just really focus on one, nail that, and then look at the different